dozens really separate kind of patterns. We have often you make a special item or I assume with one kind of purpose. Maybe it's graphics or it's communication, some kind of layer management. But it was really, really large, and it's kind of fun to browse through the code because its unit tests are really way lonesome. So if you download the source and with the demo and test folders, you'll find something that looks, for instance, like this. Or maybe not. You have this dojox variety of dojox takes the three parts. The dojox is everything that's non-visual and core dojox. And you have the digits map, and that is certified, accessibility, internationalized, and profile service, working stuff, which is visual, like layout managers and a lot of form stuff that I manage. And in the dojox part, we have a lot of things that might be not working maybe in IE. But most things work on browsers. The most common thing here in the experimental section is that it may be not internationalized correctly. We don't have a lot of special files for German or Turkish language. You can see about analytics. It's a package for sending back data on events. Don't do that. You have atom feeds, you have charting, we're going to look at that later. And also the G, data access, the drawings, so yes, flash, accessibility, and lots of stuff. And each of these folders have their own unit test, which can basically copy. Well, it's not that easy at making it up. It can be quite hard, but the idea is that you can really copy these and munch the code a bit and then use them as basis for your examples. So if you see something interesting, just grab it and try it out. The supported platforms, this graphics package, which I'm focusing on, which is one small part of it, is pretty much working for the browsers. And some things doesn't work when it comes to text rendering in Explorer. There's some bugs in Canvas as well. But in general, if you're doing normal graphics, you have this kind of capability for Google browsers. There's also alpha support for SVG web, that we talked about yesterday. The plugin that makes SVG work using Flash for Explorer 6. And actually, the graphic support for Explorer is really a sad child here because we have, since IE6, have support for a graphics layer for VML. And it's sort of like SVG, but it's very bad documented and it has some bugs. And the way VML works in Explorer has grown from kind of bad to really worse in IE7 and in IE8. And they are trying to maybe use Silverlight instead, which is the official preferred render. And that might not be too bad either, because if you use Silverlight, Drawing graphics will detect that when you're running and switch to that library instead. So one way, if you have control of the customer's installations and they are committed to using for 6, for instance, then they can make your running with Silverlight and not make any changes and bring in the applications. That's it. But otherwise, it falls to SVG in most browsers that can support it. And that's because Canvas is really cool, but there's some eventing bugs that you can't use on mouse over as well with Canvas. So at the moment, that's only so what we have is an API, it's Canvas-like, and you do it in JavaScript, just set up the stuff, it's fairly easy to use. It's normal to do graphics. One of my problems when we do this presentation, every slide I did was, yeah, people see this before, it's just graphics, you know, we know it's an 18 by meter and by some 90s and this may be age. So really no new stuff. We have Vector stuff, SVG, even though perhaps you're using Canvas in Firefox, and you're using Canvas-like API for doing circles and drawing triangles and that. But you can always use SVG's of language, SVG features, because dojox implement those in the graphics as well. And SVG is among other things, kind of very short, kind of bizarre regex-like language for describing bottom curves and slices. And there are editors who do that for you. Just put it right into dojox.gfx if you want. So everything begins with a surface. You have a DOM node, a regular DOM node, and you could probably size it up the way you want, 500 times 600 times. And then you tell the graphics subsystem, get the best render you can find in this browser, and just give me a graphics object. And much effort has been done to make this graphics object feel a lot like a DOM diagram. You have identity, you have children, and you can be creative through it. And here our contrasting stuff is very, very high brightness screen. So here's actually a grayish line. Showing you how very simple it can be, and then some inches to the left is to the right, if I'm understanding, is a kind of hexagonal grid. I was trying to do the space-based icons of get people in space. Yeah, and that's really nice. And I might actually still do that, or just to make a tutorial when I fix the code. So you can do quite nice things. The thing that you did not see looks like this. This is a very, very basic example of how to use dojox.gfx and how to draw a very good file. It's kind of standard, so it's more exciting. We have a DOM node here, the ID surface, and here we get dojo. By ID is the same thing as document object, so it's kind of color, very hard. We create a surface, by calling for the text, and then we will create line of it, and we have a document kind of stuff. You notice also that we have used a dojo.require, which is a dojo loader, which makes sure it finds where it is, and then resolves where to load the JavaScript. And also, if you have any questions, please interrupt me immediately. You don't have to say, because you always forget to the last minute what to ask, or I do anyway. So, if you have this surface, you can do different kind of things on it, and you have different kind of shapes. And the shapes are supported are rectangle, circle, ellipse line, polygons, and this path I'm referring to earlier, they can define a very complex string that belongs to groups in an interesting shape. You can have images, and you can do image manipulation. You can skew images, and you can do weird stuff to them. There's some bad support that's closely at first. And you can render text in fonts and do a really nice text. And what's good about this is that you have the possibility, without using Flash, for instance, if you don't want to make the kind of fonts you want. And it do lead fairly seamlessly into the page. It does look like HTML. They don't know which nodes actually graphics or not. I'm using this, let me see for example later. So, if you have a very, very picky client, this is one way of solving that problem. And all the calls to the text, the functions are as you would expect. There's also like another text path where the text will come below to a circle of it. Or a sine square. Just a quick look at this path language, as you see when you're getting into writing this right now. It's very, very, very hard. So it's like Perl in a sense, with all various syntaxes. So we're good for but there is a program called, let's see. There are several programs. There's one called Inkscape, Vector Graphics Editor. Where I can actually draw stuff, import them, and fiddle with them, and you can export this. Not really easy to find. There's a function you can see how will this look as JSConf language, and then just copy that string, as I did actually, into this kind of create path stuff. And there's a demo. I'm using circles. Here we have 100 randomized circles, and for each circle I've created a movable object that makes, or draggable, and to this draggable object I can do pretty much what I want. And I have on drag start and on drag end events that can jump out through the JavaScript. It's also kind of beautiful, and it's really simple to do, as you saw it in the. Oh wait. I think I have some kind of resonance here with my voice. I'll try to speak more in a light voice. No, it didn't help either, so well, never mind. We have an normal loop, and whatever. We create a circle at a certain point with certain radius, and we have a set field and a set stroke. And you can see perhaps that the stroke, the outer part of the circle is another part of the material. So you can any shape you want. Now this happens to be a circle, it could be a polygon or whatever, and you can fill it and you can set and change dynamically the order of it, whichever one you want. And what they do is on the field. How we use a round and color function as for translating the color of it. Is that you can have very complex objects describing the field. So a sort of let's say algorithmic surfaces or algorithmic textures. So every point you do, you call a specific function is defined. I'll show you this. It's kind of hard to explain really. But it looks. This is one example. I'm going to create a circle called the surface. I think where it is, so yes, the normal circle called. This is one of the demos, I guess, looked up in the details. And then I say we don't have a circle, and the RG object defines, we get rid of the field that we have in something. And what happened then is that we define a radial as linear radial visualizations. And we have 3 different points where the radial stuff is going from one category to another. And this is defined in a very specific exact coordinates. So this kind of a color space that I can use to do this. And we also have the normal kind of workings. We can transform, we can skew, we can rotate, so we can move things out. Very simple. And if you want to do something slightly more interesting, we can, I think, no, that was that one. Perhaps that one. We can use fairly basic domains just to get some very simple dimension going. And this is, of course, much slower on Internet Explorer 6 than it does work. So if you do simple things or animate stuff that should move, or a simple game or an effect, you can do this. And you can probably port stuff from Flash or C++ or Java or some other language that you find that this is kind of cool. Let's just jump right to it because the graphics API are very similar. And the code for that is about here. No questions so far? Okay, then we go to the next part. That's there. And I mentioned this before, but for every shape, we really try to make the same kind of causative property as static. So you have a description for a shape, for instance, for a circle you have this radius and the radius, and for a square you have the start and end points. So you can shape the same definitions. We can align the transformations by the normal kind of 2D matrix that you have seen other kind of graphical languages. So how much do we move it, how much do we skew it, how much do we rotate it, you just put that in as one code. And use that again and again for different kind of objects. And we have the scope of the field, and these are not always available for all kind of objects, but for pretty much most of them. And now you may be thinking, oh, this is really hard to remember everything, and it's where's documentation? And why do you ask that? Because we have quite a lot of documentation in the DOJO campus. So if you go to dojox.gfx, the last year we put an enormous amount of effort in making as much documentation with examples and articles and how you do it and copy paste and so on. To make it simple, just grab and use it and understand exactly what it does, just copy it because you need it right now. And this DOJO campus is riddled with these kind of
resonating voices. It's filled with these kind of squares that are really, you know, you have a demo, you have copy and paste, what's the JavaScript, what's the HTML, what's the CSS. So for everything that you would like to show, this is a grid kind of demo, not everything is turned on. You can use this for trying out other themes, different versions of Dojo and so forth. So Dojo Campus is really nice. Then again, you might create quite a few graphics objects, and you want to group them all. Therefore we have groups. And groups can contain other groups, and then you can apply transformations to the group. So if you have 500 objects that you want to translate at the same time or to the same time, you add it to a group, and then just throw the stuff that you would normally call on one object to do instead. So it's very true. Yeah, similar order, you can rearrange them. You have a bring to font and bring to back call for all objects that are inside a group. And Dojo contains a lot of nice features there for connotation, translation, kind of formats as it relates. And you can use almost any kind of format you want here. Everything is translated into the Dojo object. Everything is for its namespace, so everything can be all in the Dojo. You have shape stroke definitions. Here's an example of different kind of lamb objects. You can often have different kind of capital lines, but this is squares. So, and when you join different lines in that or So moving on to events and animations. I did a really simple example while just for presenting stuff because I couldn't find a good unit test for it. And what I'm doing here is to create a lot of circles, 15 times 15 ones, and really try this way to code here. And for each one, I just want to show that you can connect this circle into an on-mass of events. And most of the events that you will find are global is the country. And then you just another function that I will show you on the next slide. This dojo.page is actually a kind of small wrapper around the apply function. We force these object to the circle in this case when calling the handler function. And it will look a bit like this. So when I move over this, it creates a very nice and kind of watery feeling, very autumny. I didn't have time to do anything else, but this is kind of nice. Some more circles. And what's happening here is when I call this callback function, I have an animation going, and this animation was something that Nikolai touched upon a little bit yesterday. But there's an animation packet which is logically separated from what's working on. It's just using function callbacks. So this kind of bouncy effect is used elsewhere for buttons or for menus or for tabs showing and so forth. So the animations are pretty separate and we have a whole slew of them. So it's a very good separation of concern in that aspect actually. So let's see. And the function that is using these events look like this. We have something called animates growth. So I'm kind of contradicting myself, but we have continuous function with the graphic line as well. Just this stroke animation, so I don't have to do the graphic code. But if you want to do say something is moving back and forth, or you have a color change, you can use that using the exact same animations that you use elsewhere. You see that we add authority. This should be in the last line, and one.play. We play the animation. It does this animation, and now the animation is done. We will fire a on-end, and we capture this one. So when the on-end on the first one is fired, then it will forward match with the second animation. bounce out and bounce back. Yeah. It looks kind of weird, but it's really kind of unweird when you have weird looks. Questions? Wonderful. And then there's an enormous amount of effort has gone into the next example, but I will show it maybe 10 seconds. Because it doesn't do that. Will you see what I show it to? I had this customer in New York who wanted a process visualization system. I was really impressed by the product. I had enormous plans for it. And it worked very well. But when you show it, just show it, okay, so we load this, and now we're done. Or maybe, I have the line you load here. But this is, if you can see through the contrast, an example of how to mix text and graphics within the loading text package with normal HTML. In the upper, in the red square at the top, you have normal HTML. And so this project is overdue, for the days there is red. And everything, the legend is also the graphics, and everything inside these timelines are graphics. There's no HTML at all, just big blocks of the SVG graphics. So, and still I use these events to animate, to give some feedback. And when I click on one node, I use this is actually a very common dialog. So this is actually HTML. And then I create another graphics that inside that one on top of the other. I was sure this would work actually, because it works like sharp. And continue to use and it really looks very stern design-wise. So this is the specification from the customer. But this is not really my idea that it should look like this, but who is responsible and who is not. And that's it. 6 months of time work. But they were really nice and liked it. And I could never, ever have done this without Dojo. I mean, because I'm so bad at programming, because I get constrained by the module system. So I log up there. Så är det med det. And then we're moving into charting. And this kind of common graphics package is really nice. And I don't know who really the charting stuff. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, Eugene is super good at it. He's got a lot of the JSConf and the charting work. And what we have is what you would expect for a fairly cool update Flash graphics package, but without Flash. And one of the flashier things with the JSConf and charting also is that you can actually bring this page. And that's how hard to read Flash. So if I have I don't know why it works, but it works very well. And let's say you would like to have a chart. There's, I don't know if you can see the very bluish kind of chart there. As with the GFX stuff, here's a node, and then behind the scenes you use story GFX to create graphics node of the variety of flavor you have in the browser. We have a lot of themes, color themes, and a color theme as we'll see later, is basically a set of colors that are interrelated. So when you put the first line or the first graph, you have one shade of green, and the next one gets exactly a darker shade of green, so it looks kind of nice. And you have green, red, yellow, and all kinds of bizarre ones. So there. What I said before about the different kind of options, or different kind of objects and different graphics, that applies very, very much more to the charting. There are zillions of options, depending on which chart you use and what kind of options you execute. And you can also go with all this SV pipeline, which is what the dots tool is very good. And that's kind of an obstacle. So if you go in and just use these charts, don't try to understand everything, because you will just fall asleep. It's just really impossible. And you can use the chart very, very simply and accept the defaults. But just take the emails and jump on them until you do this. Here's a reasonably simple example shown above. That we make a chart, instead of you don't have to do that. I add a plot, and the default means we use just lines. You can have pie charts or different kind of plots. You can have 7 plots in the same chart. We have axis, X and Y. This just names and equals of Y. It is A for the sort of Y axis. We will say vertical screw. And a major, minor, micro ticks, which is how very detailed I will plot the kind of ticks on this. And we can say it should be a 0, a 1, or also big stuff. And at the end of this definition, I add a series which will give actual data. And this will also go into data stores, which means like I showed you yesterday. So if you have a server that serves data manually, we can put that out instead. This will go data flow and red.
Link that up to the Dojo data source.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
if you have a comment, the data source, then you update. Because the notification of that. And there's also a video version of this, so you can put it on the regular page and just put out the email to get out. So this is the data source. And if you are using Persevere, which is nearby this one. Of course, there's a service I did with engine running library, and it has very, very common support. And of course, it's over 4 days. So that's the one we can check out. Persevere. How much it is?
You might take a look at the site plans in which is on the slide.
The dynamical data. Do you know the URL for that?
Somewhere on site.
Okay, so but we have all day. It's okay. But it was a very good idea. I'll try that. See. Exactly. Oh. This guy. I'm not sure I'll be able to find that.
Maybe you search for dojox.charting. Is the way to because this is what you can connect. You can create a chart that is connected to a store, and that is if you refresh the store between data, the chart will be refreshed too. So this is what you can use.
We have a local demo actually that I was going to show that is not using. Not a communicator with a server, it's using a store in very much the same way. So maybe we can take a look at that. And we go into the unit tests again. So these are just the normal tests that is used, but all the data chart. Yeah, there we go. So if I change something here, maybe 8, or sorry, then it should update. But it didn't take that, did it? So it's not the previous containers that work, so this is the same kind of function. I have a local data store that I enter information into, and the only change it notifies for the listeners always shows them. You can have a tree or a grid that displays the same information with the same range. And there's quite a number of different graphs. We have a lot of columns, we have lines here, we have slides, different areas, bars. I think the easiest way is just show you this from a demo. It's a basic chart, more fancy one, the SVG things. We also have a small widget called what do we call it? A legend. So if you have a lot of series added, the legend widget will detect a series of names that can display this is red, this is green. and you probably want to do that. So, and we have the eventing stuff automatically tied in. So you can say that you want a certain kind of effect of balance or a shape or a color change. There are default effects you can use, and also tweak for the value or something that you like to render instead of value for each kind of data point. So these are stacked bars and columns, different shapes. We have 3 series. It's also very refreshing to play around with if you're inclined in that. And we have also the pie chart, I think. Here's another theme. I think you can actually, no, not set here, but.
And the objects like the dots and the charts, they are still like unknown, so I can use them.
They are not unknown because we're not really in the graphics time. But they are the same kind of.
They are still like.
Yes, exactly. And the same kind of techniques are over the events. So you have one also over out, create a diagonal on it.
So I totally put events on the.
Yes. And I was using it was like 1 or 2 years ago when I started to use this for dojox. There was no legend, and we didn't have any meaning on we didn't use on our server in charting, but I used the system inside the charting JSConfEU package. So I did kind of on our server about just text before it was actually used as the biggest network. You can make the good stuff yourself.
And you have shadows and lots of really interesting. It doesn't matter how many charts we make. There's always somebody say, "Do you have this kind of spider chart?" And we don't. But we have all other kinds of charts basically. Another interesting feature is that you can take a chart and you can scale it, and you can pan inside the chart. And this, of course, an edge case kind of thing. I think it's still kind of cool that for any chart, any data set, you can, without re-rendering stuff and pulling back into the server, just tell the chart to pan or magnify parts. And that's really critical for certain kind of customers and applications. Okay, we can also have multiple access. That's also an edge case, but very critical. Oh, you want multiple access? Sorry, no. Let's choose something. And then we have 2 x-axis and 2 y-axis. And you can tell the axis are different scales begin at 0 that are completely self-contained. And if you have maybe a time series, you don't want to show the actual value. Very, very common is that people would like to see the day of the week or the month or years or something. The years is kind of okay. And looking at it, it's a very large data set which is kind of clear from the server. And the easy way to do this, you can have people forming functions as well. The easy way to do this is to use the describe when you find the access, the labels that just exchange the numbers. And all of this is quite fine because you want a static translation anyway. I'm not comfortable with this room, I think. Just going back to the data, I will find that. But the easiest way is just to find the data inside the HTML of the element class we do it. And sometimes you can use some kind of server-side rendering, or sometimes just get the data benefits passing away from Alex code. It's very simple to do that. You can add lots of options to this series that will override the basic options of the chart with a specific kind of series or so. And again, you have to look at the implementation because it's quite complicated. And as I mentioned before, you can calculate each chart data store, including eventing and updating. So. And some color theming. Most color themes are used in this kind of darker shades of gray, but many are really weird and it's very easy to use it with a stream of color objects. So kind of fun to talk with. And then we have the charting events. And that's with some of the charting graphic chart. You have specific things for this magnifying tool you can attach and create for this you can also use connected plots. And then you don't dig deep down yet, and then only when somebody does something. So a different series, maybe you can find that numbers and so on. And that's more or less what I was going to talk about, I think. Very, very nice not to also have hard questions. But, is there anything else you'd like to see? Is there anything I can find? Sorry. Thanks very much. That service. I haven't even woken up yet, and I get some good links on Twitter. So. Again, who are you?
Look for JSConf.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah. And one could easily think that I should have thought of that, but I didn't. There's a lot of someone using perseverance in that thing. They can do it. Any other questions?
You said it's possible, but it's tricky to import SVG files.
No, it's not tricky at all. It's just an easy itself. I suppose getting to show that it's deep because I haven't used it. And like the person who is doing this installation. And if you can get the
So you're doing the path information or the SVG?
just the path. Let's see if I can. I thought I started that, but maybe it got weird on me. Is it? No? Yes, it is. Thank you. I mean, sha. Aha. Okay. We had some difficulties with the reacting stuff. So if I do something, I don't really know this program, so please scream if I do the wrong thing. But I think I will do a Bezier curve here. Something very simple, and then I have this. Let's see. Does everybody know this program very well? No, you don't. Come on, I did. Yeah, could be not zoom display mode, but there's a button that I was using called show XML or something like that. Is that it? Center page? No. No, there it is. So, if you just copy this, which I actually did, I had one very small, I think example 5, no, not that, 6, no, yes, but I introduced a bug yesterday. This should actually work. Well, here's the source code that worked yesterday. Sorry. And I was into Inkscape and I just copy paste that off. That's right though. So, other questions? Yes.
What about possibilities to use text on mobile phones?
Yeah.
Using files and PDF files?
That I don't know. I'm sorry. That's a very good question. Really? No, that's good. I don't even know. Sorry, but I will have maybe better points, and I'm not really sure. If we cover all this. Let's see.
Yes, and you would like them to have like an open dialogue or 2D kind of stuff, and you continue to render the connections. We have some stuff like that, but and I would actually like to see exactly that kind of a Visio kind of snap to and move around when it's still connected. We don't have that, I think, yet anywhere. But there is one demo that is so... Yeah, right. Thank you. We have that. Sorry. Just in from, but we let's see, drawing, and we have the unit test for that, I think, and there is a path test. No. Wait. Here we go. So we have this over here, and we have this stuff here. Is this the right demo? No? Yeah, but we have some kind of connect. Yeah, here we are. But I don't know how to connect this to another object. I'm not certain whether it supports that at the moment.
It's going because like if you want to go fancy on this, you need something like edge routers that you can specify the algorithm how the action actually occurs.
Exactly, the route to Manhattan or Leslie or something like that. Yeah. And the code, I mean, there's sort of a good open source, especially for 2D. I mean, we can just take that code basically and adapt it to those sorts of the source.
I was just wondering how much there it is. I remember looking at the library years ago.
Yeah.
And this.
Yeah, okay. But, it's so much, and even though I focus on very much on graphics, I miss out on stuff. I don't know everything that's been done. There are over 80 committers for it, so, and I'm not even one of the committers, so it's really quite a lot. But I think there is. If we just quickly go to back.
You say it's there. I find it.
Yeah, but I remember that we have one. Here's one very simple example. Yeah. So, and what happens is that as soon as I move the thing, we just re-render stuff. So it's really simple. Actually, yes.
You said that it can print automatically, so it doesn't matter if it's Flash or SVG or Canvas. Is it a browser or stuff, or just the look?
No, I think it's that the browser is working very good. You don't use it Flash, but if you use anything I can do in ZipFlash,
and it's possible to do everything that you draw on the screen, have another kind of output, like in a file.
Yes, there's support like for some this coding has support information. There's no other basic support. Everything is JavaScript and fairly easily export your business. And I got some and maybe I missed it. There are already SVG web is doing exactly, and we're supporting SVG. So, but there's no mesh written because Red Movers work on SVG web, and we also work in dojox on sort of one accounts. And so we now have a bridge for SVG web, but we use that is working on mesh web. So it's not necessary to include it. Any other questions?
Is there an export if I have one of your canvases to get the SVG code?
Not really. For the drawings, we have this new function where we do just calculations. I just asked this question. I've done some little for my own kind of stuff, and it's not very hard. Since you have all of these things are defined from the definitions of the videos. Yes, exactly. It has some basic graphic form. It's not very hard. And the main